Hello, and we are live. Uh, great. So I am Torbjörn, and I have my good friend Ian here with me. Uh, can you let's check the connections and the sound? Are they working?
I can hear you loud and clear, Torbjorn.
Yeah, yeah. Good to hear. Good to hear. I see that we are online or streaming on these channels here now, and this is for the title of this is like it says a warm up for live on Friday. Today is Wednesday, right? Or what's the
Today is
day?
Wednesday,
Wednesday, yeah. And the time for me it's 5 o'clock, 5:11.
and 2 hours earlier, 3:11 for me.
Yeah. So wherever you are during that time, I in the invitation I don't have any certain hour, but the event in itself will show you the right hours, the right time. So I hope as many of you as possible can join us then on Friday. So here we are. Yeah. What what? How could we introduce ourselves here today?
I think the best way, Torbjorn, is just to say a few words about each other
Yeah.
and our professional interests and maybe touch on things that we enjoy outside the self education world too. Does that
Mm-hmm.
sound good?
Yeah. Just shortly. You are. Where are you currently, and where you're from? What?
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm from southeast England, close to London in the UK, and I've been actively involved in the self education world now for nearly 2 years. And I have a particular mission where I want to empower people to thrive in their work. And that's from a background of not doing so myself and feeling hopelessly stuck and tolerating certain situations much more than I should. So it's been a long, hard road actually to start telling myself that I can make a difference rather
Mm.
than wait for events to do that. And in my
Cool.
spare time, I'm
Yeah. So
into
hold on.
music.
You said you were for 2 years, so you just barely getting familiar.
I'm barely getting familiar. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, I'm really still on the baby stage, aren't I? In the kindergarten stage.
Yeah. But you seem to enjoy the journey, and that it was a good decision.
It's the hardest decision I've ever made because I'm fully accountable for everything. However, it's also the best decision I ever made because I'm chasing my dream and not helping
Mhm.
somebody else chase theirs.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. Mm, mm. If- yeah, you were talking about your free time. We will leave a little bit longer presentation for on Friday. So then about me, I'm Torbjörn, and I wanted to do. We have talked about this live for a pretty long time, and here we are, and we set the date for Friday. So look forward to that on, and then we meet on Friday and have a little bit longer live and time together. And about me, yes, I have had um, my journey. I have been for 6 years interested in personal development, and I had my real business for, is it now 3 years or 2 years in, no, yeah, soon to be 3 years. And I have some new cool stuff coming up, and which is like kind of the same, like it's from the old things I have been doing to new things what I actually want to do. Because I think you start out with something that you believe that this is something I can do, this is what I want to do, but you realize that actually I want to do something else. Like what I really want to do is something else, and it's not easy to start with that. You don't there are different reasons, and reasons why you don't start up with what you actually want to do. But why wouldn't you do that? But I think that's for like for everyone, that you start out with something and then you find your way. Then you realize, for me, I realized that this is what I actually want to do. So why don't I just start doing it? Why do I need to do other things before? So what I have been doing is still focusing on is career coaching, but then going more into business coaching, people that wants to not find a new job, but they want to get out of their current job, and either go to, like, primarily go to full-time business or part-time business, coaching, consulting, changing their expertise to a profitable business, or from their expertise. And of course, I help also still with career coaching, but but I felt, for me, and the reason for the changes was that it's so much consulting, like telling how you should do it, which is, in my opinion, not coaching. So I found it hard to bring in the coaching part of it. Coaching is not only coaching; there are consulting around it, but in when you write your CV, help someone with writing the CV, the resume, interview preparation. It's a lot of consulting and teaching and giving advice. This is how you should do it, which is not coaching. You can do a lot of coaching around it, but people expect, uh, in my experience, more of the consulting and teaching. They want
Yeah.
to be helped with that, which is fine, but that's not exactly what I want to do. So that's why I'm shifting a little bit. So yeah, that's how is that relevant? What can we say? Something relevant, like some interesting for Friday, something relevant to what's happening. Like that's no one wants to know about what we are doing and what we are offering. Actually, they want to hear that, can we do something for them? Can we bring value? Can we make a movement? Can we get attention? Which is all about. Yeah, I heard much about attention economy. That's what it's really about now.
Yeah.
Attention market. I see the time here that we are close to 10 minutes. And we have the goal to just go on for 10 minutes. So maybe I can end here, and after, when I end, you can say something, and then we end this, if it works out. So just want to say that, wish to see you on Friday, and if you cannot see us live, you can register and get the link. So please register in beforehand. Now I'm live on LinkedIn also, but we will not be live on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn, I think, doesn't work for longer lives. It's better to have it on YouTube or Facebook. YouTube is perhaps the best for that, or Facebook works. But now I've stopped talking. See you on Friday. And what do you have in mind?
Well, I was only going to observe. I think people traditionally are used to and therefore expect to be taught, whereas coaching is more about empowering. It's about showing signs, showing pointers, actually presenting possibilities, scenarios, rather than actually doing those particular actions for the person that you're presenting them to. Although, of course, a big part of that is accountability, and that's personal accountability, but also requesting somebody else to keep one accountable. And we're looking forward to Friday because we're hoping to provide lots and lots of value, perhaps in particular in regard to looking at how this year can be your best ever year in terms of getting somewhere that you really want to be. Obviously, the year is coming up to 1/8 old already, which means that I'm particularly old at the age of 57, and Torbjorn is quite significantly younger than me, but he's aging as we speak. In fact, he's older even than when I said that. But we're really looking towards Friday, and hope that as many of you as possible will be able to join us live. But if not, as many as possible will be able to watch us back, because we really hope to provide a good, meaningful, and engaging experience for you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Anne. Everything seems all right. You can, when when you're watching this, you can also comment, and I will see the comments here, and we can also bring you up on stage if you want to. Feel free for that. And remember those questions. We have received some questions already, and we will go through them on Friday. Anything about change and career, job, coaching, if you're interested in coaching, but who are interested in coaching besides those who want to become a coach. People, and you don't, there's also a reason why you become interested in coaching. Is some people are interested in the coaching itself. You become really, what do you say,
you become engaged with coaching, and it becomes a passion for you in a way that, for example, playing football might be a passion for those who are sports minded and have got that particular mentality and the willingness to train for as long as it takes with whom it takes in order to make that passion a reality.
Yeah.
And if you aren't passionate about it, you shouldn't do it, because you need to give it your all. And it's not only important to get that across to the person that you're trying to empower, it's also part of your own self-work, because part of empowering other people involves empowering yourself and continually learning. And I never cease to be amazed how, in contrast to when I was at school or university and I thought that's where education ended, I keep learning new things every day. And that will continue being the case. And it's very important to keep our minds open to it too. Keep continually observing and absorbing.
There are more and more people looking to educate themselves in a different way, micro education, and we're talking mostly online. And and there are so many people doing it now. So we talk about that it's a thing, like it's something we talk about, like it did in, especially from this year 24 is going to be a big transformation and change in how people behave about education. Online education has been here for many years, but we are seeing here that people are shifting to traditional ways, from traditional ways of learning to new micro learning together in a community. And then there's the all things ethical questions, and the like what's right or wrong, like the scientific part of it. But most people are not interested in that. But that's, if you are highly educated, you learn that you need to have scientific scientific like level of knowledge that you provide. But most people don't care about what's scientific or not. They want someone else to check that for them. So, but all people are humans, and scientists also. They believe in things that they conclude, or they use their intelligence and knowledge about that this is correct or not, even though they do a scientific experiment. They try to be objective, but as humans, we are not objective. We are subjective beings, and we have our biases, and in everything we do. So that's quite interesting. Now, when the educational space, let's say, is shifting into more independent people learning, teaching and learning together, and you're more like taking things like coaching, you take into learning from each other. um, how can we make sure that the value and the quality is good, because you there are spaces that you can do this freely on online and everywhere.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's really something that's about to shift here.
Definitely.
Mm. So yeah, to hear more about current things, about how the world is changing, and how to change your world, and it always starts with you. I just listened to something yesterday that many people think that the cause of their problems are external, in their job place and in their life in different places, that is because of other factors, when actually most of our problems, most of our behaviors, or our current situation is from our own internal reasons, internal thought process, emotions, and everything that affects our behavior. It is actually not the external things. It's we can do so much on our own. Like, we can work with ourselves. We cannot do everything. We cannot change ourselves totally, but it's not the external things. It's not your boss. It's not your family. It's not your friends or whatever. It's not the national news, the current world situation. That's not stopping you from doing what you want. It's inside you.
I think the perception that it is all down to external forces comes from what you're presented with as you grow up and first become self aware. And it's also about your sense of self worth. You're not necessarily aware of that at the time, but you lose track or you lose faith in what you can actually contribute, or rather, you don't actually think that it's possible and therefore you don't. And I
Mm.
remember many occasions when I was not really sure where to go, feeling helpless, wanting desperately to get out of whatever rut I was in at that particular time. But in reality, simply belatedly moving from one rut to a different rut, which actually didn't
Mm.
change anything fundamental. And it meant that I was really filling in time and getting myself out of the house and doing something useful for somebody else, or hopefully it meant that some days weren't too bad, other days were dreadful, and other weeks were filled with dread, both in advance and while they were happening. But never ever did I feel until very late on that I was doing something I wanted, because to quote the words of one of my tutors on a training course which I did, I was a follower and not a leader. And I think a follower just accepts what's going on like it's the norm, like it's to be expected, like it's not something he or she will be able to change, do anything about, and shouldn't try. Whereas somebody who wants to
Mm.
lead and shape their own destiny, first of all, needs to find the self belief which I lacked to do so. And
Mm.
then they need actually to realize how they can actually best put that self belief into effect. And it's important also, although naturally it's a temptation, to avoid wanting everything at once. So you
Mm.
can't go to bed one night wishing everything to change miraculously the next day. It
No, no.
doesn't happen like
I will stop you there, Ian. If you want to hear more, you can do that on Friday. I really have to go, and sorry for the background here. I see you on Friday. It was nice to talk with you here today, Ian, and we will
likewise.
continue then on Friday. Yes.
Look forward to it, Torbjorn. Look
Great.
forward to seeing you guys there.
Yes, thank you. Bye
Take
bye.
care.